Welcome back, everybody. Another edition of the show. This is a good thing, right?
This is a very good thing.
Little later in the afternoon today, Coach, you just finished up with your last practice before the game, a little walkthrough. It was raining outside, 45 and drizzling, so you walked through the gym, and looks like the kids are ready.
No, I think they are. You know, I mean, I like doing this. You know, I like doing this when we have when the hay's in the barn. You know, when we're
you took the words right out of my mouth.
You know, I used to hate it when coaches would say that because well, I'm going to probably go home and watch some more film, review the script, review the play sheets, do all that stuff tonight. So technically, hay's not in the barn. You know, and so I still tell the kids, you still got to work, but yeah, hay's in the barn. We're ready to roll.
All right, we'll get into that preview with Minnetonka here a little bit later in the show. But first, another nail biter, Coach. Two Lakeville teams. First one, a shootout, 35-34, and then a totally different game, a defensive game, a struggle, both sides offensively for both offenses. But you pulled that out late in the fourth quarter with 14-10 win.
Yeah, I mean, and that's playoff football. You know, find a way to win. You know, actually, I think I heard Tom Brady talking about it a couple weeks ago. He talked about how, you know, early on in his career, it was about how many touchdown passes, this and that, you know, to whatever numbers he was chasing. And then you start to understand it's just about winning games. Mm-hmm. It's about, score one more point than they do. Yeah. And, our kids, to their credit, they stayed into it. They stayed positive. One side, if offense struggled, defense didn't tank and go, oh man, we this is over. We didn't, we had issues, in the red zone, and sometimes those things happen. Yeah. I think it was a great lesson for Peyton. It was really awesome on, was it Sunday Night Football, watching the Detroit Lions play, and Jared Goff throws 5 picks and they still win. So
we'll touch on that a little bit.
But it's just in football, it's just just keep battling, and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the player of the week, and then we'll come back and talk offense and defense.
Every week, this ain't no game, this ain't no joke. I hope you prepare for the beef. We run through the middle, we run through your teeth. If you're throwing it deep, we put 6 on the sheet, and it's only first quarter, so cheers up your deep. Whenever the lights on and the whistle blows, every Friday night we put on a show. Good, better, best, never let it rest. Step on the field and get body, bro. We ain't no jokers, we pop like a soda. Get me like an ogre, don't say we ain't told you. You see, we Anoka, we make no excuses. Relentless and ready with bros on my shoulders. Highlight reels on deck, yeah, they coming up. First half, right hook, energize a bunny. I'm take 'em out, running all the money up. Leaving Cheerios on the board, no honey nut.
All right, back again. Going to talk a little offense against Lakeville North. Again, Coach coming out with that 14-10 win. Offensively, 25 for 31, passing 236, rushing 79 yards. Not a typical game for you offensively. Looking at some other stats, I mean, if you don't have that intercept, if you don't intercept North late in the game, you're -4 in the turnovers margin, and very rarely do you see a team come out -4 in the turnover, or ending up -3 in the turnover margin and winning the game. But you guys did. It was.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think if you just looking from an offensive perspective, nobody would argue that was our best game.
Yeah.
We made mistakes. We made mistakes in the run game. That are sometimes a little harder to see than the mistakes in the passing game. But we had our fair share of mistakes. Some of them were major, but even those, we throw a pick, guys hustle, they get the tackle, we end up getting the stop defensively. We bounce right back, and then you come to that, the last play of the game, offensively, it just like we drew it up, right? No, but it was one of those where we have talked about that you can't take a sack there. You got to throw it up towards the goalpost in that situation and see what happens. And that's what Peyton did.
But I think that shows the growth of this team throughout the year, right? I mean, early in the year, I don't know if that play gets made, or, if we're even still in the game with those turnovers, but I think it shows the growth of the team and the perseverance of it, which you want to have happen right now.
Yeah, because that's life, right? I mean, that's life. You're a reflection of your experiences. You're just, everything you do prepares you for the next opportunity. And these kids have had, tons of opportunities this year to grow, to experience new things, to battle through tests. And if I look at the other teams that are left, I think we're prepared for some things that maybe others aren't. We've been pushed, we've had to battle, we've had to see, stare it down at the end of a game and go, all right, we got this, and come out the other side. So I'm really, really excited for that. I think we're, like I told the kids just a little bit ago, I think we're a really, 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 really good football team. We define greatness as being the best version of yourself that you can be. I think we got some growth to do yet. I think we still got another level to do. If we play the kind of offensive game we played 2 weeks ago with the kind of defensive game we played a week ago, we are scary.
Yeah.
So I'm real excited. I mean, offensively, I think we continue to have players that step up when their number's called. And looking forward to doing that again.
All right, well, we're going to hear Coach Bo's thoughts right after the game. I got a chance to interview right after the game, so we'll hear his thoughts right after the Lakeville North 14-10 win and talk a little defense.
Hey, we got it right back behind us. 14-10.
That's pretty.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Well, we're going to go to the bank. Yeah.
What bank is that?
Do you have plans Thursday? Because I know what I'm doing.
I think I'm taking Thursday and Friday off, Coach. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
14-10 win.
Yeah.
You guys, we sat up in the stand. You guys were more physical.
Yeah, how many weeks have you and I sat there and on Wednesday or Thursday morning and talked about being the more physical team each week? Defensively, I mean, our coaches, they told me on Wednesday, Coach Danicky told me, he said he was really excited about the game plan. He feels like the kids were so locked in. Offensively, I wasn't as excited coming off Wednesday. We had a little bit of a shaky practice. But, man, they just kept plugging. We just kept plugging, plugging. We talked about it last week, the perseverance of this team and these kids just that believe in each other. Awesome.
And to come in here and drive down here to Farmington and beat the #1 team in your section has got to give you all the confidence in the world going in. And now you're going to have, Minnetonka, right? Minnetonka.
No, it does. I mean, when you drive, it took us an hour and 15 minutes to get here. Yeah. And, you drive about 8 minutes away from here. You drive past Lakeville North High School. Neutral site, but, it's pretty close for them. Our fans, unbelievable.
Oh my God! Did we turn out?
To look at the stands and even hear it in that fourth quarter when the game's on the line, our crowd was amazing. So it's couldn't be more proud of these guys. Couldn't be more excited. I mean, these are not just awesome football players, but you guys know they're unbelievable kids. They're great people of character. We talk a lot about life, and it's just, you couldn't be more proud of where these kids are headed, and I'm excited for next Thursday.
But you know what? We get to meet again on early. It's Wednesday, Thursday. No, probably Wednesday, Tuesday.
Probably Tuesday.
Week. So we'll get after it. Here we go.
Back again with our last segment, talking Lakeville North win. Coach, we'll talk a little defense. We talked about this last week when we previewed the game. Lakeville North was a running team, predominantly running team. And, it reminded me of the Centennial game. It reminded me of the Blaine game. You guys shut them down 93 yards rushing. And they had to resort to the pass, and you shut that down. 66 yards passing for North, total 159 yards for the game. They were coming in averaging 321. It was reminiscent of the Blaine game, maybe even better than the Blaine game, better than the Centennial game. It was.
Yeah, I mean, I think and it's one of the things that I think our kids are starting to understand is that they're a really good football team.
Yeah.
And that defensively they're really good. And when we play together, when everybody does their jobs, we do some really good things. I think, how many games that we've talked about it sitting here that, controlling the line of scrimmage, being the more physical team. And, our guys continue to do that, I think it goes to, defensively, offensively, just the whole group. These kids care about each other and they're willing to sacrifice for each other. They're willing to trust each other more than maybe they have in the past. And they know that this guy's going to do his job. So I don't have to do more than my job. If I'm the backside inside linebacker, I don't have to make the tackle on a sweep the other way. I'm filling my gap because I'm ready for the cutback. I know that if I'm Luke Duchesne, I know Parker's doing his job. You know, I know that Aaron Knapp's going to do his job. And you know, one thing I said to the coaches before the game, I thought it to me it's awesome, is we have 11 captains. So before the game, you know, every week at 6:30 they call for captains, and we have 11 of them that run over there, and we're running team, you know, kind of perfect play pursuit drill at that time, and we don't skip a beat with other guys jumping in and being ready to go and do their job. And you know, with the amount of different looks we play defensively, different formations we run offensively, for guys to be able to just jump in and hit it without skipping a beat, it's really impressive as a team, and it's really a credit to what these kids can do.
Yeah. All right, Coach. We will come back. We'll come back and hear from Cooper Bakke and Coach Denicky. I got a chance to finally interview him after that performance, and then we'll preview the Minnetonka game.
Hey, we're here, Cooper Bakke, baby. Where you going? Where you going? 14-10. Hell of a game. You guys came out. I think you guys kicked their ass. We had one bad drive. That was it. One bad drive. Physically, you beat them up. You beat them up. Hey, great job. Let's talk about next week. Are you guys excited? Yeah, I think matchup good against these guys too. We just got to play our game. I mean, it can go either way, but if we bring our game, I think it's going to go out there. I think we're going to be in the chip. All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Hey! Go to the bank, baby! Been a long time coming. Your defense, again, the last 4 weeks, your defense has just come and stood up. Talk about this. Where are we at, man?
Well, we just got a bunch of kids that they believe in the system, they believe in each other, and they just play their butts off. I mean, I can't be more proud of them. What they did on short fields and turnovers and just came out and kept making stops. And I mean, that pick by Duchesne at the end, that was just everything in a nutshell in this season.
I will tell you this. I'm up in the stands, and what I'm hearing from the Lakeville looked like they got their ass kicked. They were tired.
Yeah,
you guys.
We all physical them.
You did.
And they couldn't run the ball. They run the ball a lot, and they couldn't run the ball, and made them pass, and that got us in their nickel, and I'm so proud of these guys for what they did.
Going to the bank, baby. Going to the bank. Here we go.
All right, back again with our last segment, Coach. You're down to the Final Four.
Yep.
Tough matchup against Minnetonka. They come in 9-2 now with playing 11 games. The end of the season, at the end of the regular season, they were ranked 4 or 5, I think, is what the final rankings came out. They just had a shutout victory over Blaine, so I'm sure they're riding high after that game. They're averaging only 80 yards passing in the air, but same theme. They run the ball.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I mean they're a good football team. When you get to the Final Four, you would hope everybody's going to be a good football team. You know, for us, it's just, you know, it's another team wearing a different colored jersey, and that's all we really, you know, look at it as. I think, you know, some of the things they do, I think we match up well with. Defensively, you know, they play a similar structure to our base defense, which, you know, our kids see a lot. You know, defensively, I think, you know, they're a run first team, which we have, you know, done well against throughout the season. So,
and I was going to mention that when we talk about these run heavy teams, every time that we've come in is like, you got to stop the run, and you guys do stop the run.
Well, so I mean, I remember sitting there in early February at Coach's Clinic, and that was our point of emphasis. We said we have to we got to be solid up front. I said. Yeah. You know, to me, you know, defensively, you know, our keys are number 1, stop the run. Number 2, stop big plays. Big plays come from deep passes and missed tackles. So, you know, focusing on those, you know, key elements, I think we've done really well. And then, you know, solving problems with violence, being aggressive, being physical, being, that more aggressive team up front.
So I've been meaning to ask you this as we got later into the season. You just talked about the violence and the physical part. Now that you're this far into the playoffs, you're at the semifinals. Have you tapered off the physicality in practice? It's more
100%.
mental now, and now it's just
I haven't been a huge proponent of a lot of contact in practice. I think some of it's overrated. I think there's been some of the greatest coaches in football have done minimal. Gallardia at St. John's, they did no contact during the week, and I think it creates more of the excitement to kind of lay it on the line. And I think like anything, you can if I go train on a wet field, I'm training myself to play slow because I'm training myself to brace myself and slow down to make cuts. I don't want to do that. I want to train to go fast all the time. When I tackle, I want to train to tackle full speed. I don't want to tackle practice tackle.
Yeah.
So we run through full speed. Our kids have grown a lot as far as being able to handle the tempo in practice, because some of the young kids don't understand that, this is a thud tempo, this is a tag off, we don't need to hit each other. And there was a play about week 5 where Zach Welch was lead blocking. Ethan Mossman came down, we were going ones on ones. Ethan Mossman came down, and in the past, Zach would have tried to knock him out, but he kind of runs through his path. Ethan goes through, tags off on the tackle. Coaches, we know what happened. We know where we would have been offensively. They know where they would have been defensively. And so we're still seeing what we need to see. Yeah. And the kids trusting that, oh, well, I don't want coach to think I missed the tackle, or I don't want coach to think I missed the block. No, we saw what you had to do.
So one last question as we go into this semifinal game. Obviously, this is a lot bigger stage. And I was told that you only get 22 minutes to warm up on the actual field. So what has your preparation been like up to this point, and what will it be tomorrow?
We've prepped for the prep that you have to do. We've simulated it several times. We'll still get the same warm up we always do. It'll be a little bit disjointed because we'll do some of it underneath the stadium and then some of it out on the turf. So it'll be, I've learned, having been there before, that you have to be ready for that. And part of it is how you handle that stage. Because some kids won't. Some teams won't be ready for it. They won't understand it. And they take it as it's a tourist trip. For us, it's a business trip. We're going to win a football game.
Yeah.
That's what we're going there for. 7:00 tomorrow night.
Yeah. And there's 3 games before you too.
Yep.
So, and I think one ticket gets you in for all of those games. So I'm sure other people are going to stick around and watch that, Battle of the Titans 6A football, big class, and see what.
I wish they played both of them. I wish they played 4:00 game and a 7:00 with 6A. So everybody that's interested in 6A can stay there and watch.
So again, tomorrow night, Minnetonka 9-2 against the Anoka Tornadoes, 7:00 semifinals. The winner gets to play for the chip.
That's it.
All right. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, they gon' hear us now.